Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new video. Today's video is this makeup look and it is my everyday glam makeup routine. It's super simple, super easy to do, and it includes some of my absolute favourite products. Some of them are things that I've used for quite a while now, and some of them are things I've only just started to use over the last few months and just been completely converted to, and now literally couldn't put back or put down. I will use them for years and years and years, I can just tell. So definitely do keep watching if you're currently looking to pick up some new different makeup things and to maybe change up your routine a little bit. Maybe you want to add a new highlighter, maybe you want to add a new concealer. I have some products in this that I think you might really like because they're definitely things which I personally am really enjoying using. So because I've added new products to my makeup routine, I thought it'd be nice to share them with you because maybe some of you would be interested to check them out as well. And if I can help one person find some nice new makeup, then that is a good thing. Okay, so before we get on with the video, make sure you go and get yourself a nice hot cup of tea, get a cup of coffee, get cozy, and let's get straight into the video. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and cleansed my face, and before I put any moisturiser on, I always go in with some toner. So I've currently been loving the Body Shop's Tea Tree Toner. It's really good if you've got like combination skin, maybe you get some like oiliness. It's really good because it mattifies all of that, and it's also got clay in the bottom. So yeah, it really absorbs any excess oils and makes you feel nice and fresh and hydrated as well. So for my primer, I'm really enjoying using the Professional by Benefit. Everyone's talked about this for so many years and it actually took me ages to actually try this, but now that I have tried it, I'm so converted to it, and it is definitely one of the best primers I've ever used. It is so smoothing for my skin. I have quite an oily complexion anyway, and I know a lot of people say this can be quite drying, but for me personally this is perfect because it really does help my makeup to last all day. For me, I like a really super matte finish, and this definitely helps me to achieve that. Onto foundation, and recently my makeup routine's had a bit of a mix up. I've changed things up a little bit and I've actually been converted onto using Rimmel. So I was always the kind of girl who would just use like a really expensive foundation. I only ever use Clinique, but you know what, I just feel like you got to branch out sometimes, and after trying this Rimmel, this is Rimmel Lasting Matte. It had a smooth effect and it's a lightweight mousse. Lots of people might remember that Dream Matte mousse from like about 12 years ago when everyone was at school, and this is kind of like that but thicker, and I find this really good. I actually have two shades in it. So I have the shade which is 103 True Ivory, and I also have the shade which is Fair Beige 085, and they're both really good. I tend to go more for the one which is True Ivory because it's slightly darker and it sort of just warms your complexion up, but 85 Fair Beige is actually like basically the exact same colour as like my neck skin, so it's really pale and it does basically look like perfect skin once you put it on. So these are really good, and I also use the concealer which is from the same range, and they really do complement each other really well. And to apply my foundation, I use a Tropic Skincare brush. This brush here, I think it's a dual-ended brush, and I think that it actually is a foundation brush. So this side here is the one that I use to apply the foundation with. It's really good. I used to use a beauty blender, but I actually haven't been using that for quite a few weeks now. I've been just using this. I really like the effect it has, and also using a brush, it doesn't absorb all the product, because I always was finding the beauty blender would just drink up all the foundation, and especially when I was using the really expensive one, it was like really annoying because it was so expensive and then the sponge had more foundation on than me. So I thought that this was definitely something to try, and since I've started using it, I absolutely love it. Also, this other side is really good for doing your like baking or like setting under your eyes, around your nose, once foundation is already on. So today I think I'm going to use a combination of the two of these because I don't want to be super pale, but I also don't want to be like too bronzed, because I just want it to be a happy medium in between. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. So now onto concealer, and I actually use two different concealers for different places on my face. They aren't necessarily different shades, but I just feel like they do slightly different things, so I'm a bit fussy with things like that. So they basically go in different places. So like I was saying, I use the Lasting Matte by Rimmel concealer, and I use that underneath my eyes, around my nose, on my chin, and to cover any blemishes I might have. And then for my eyelids, because obviously they're going to be more sensitive anyway, I use a Tropic Skincare concealer. This is actually quite an expensive concealer, so I think it's about £18, but it's honestly so worth it. It's so gentle and it's also a beautiful colour. So I use this one here for my eyelids, and that is also like my eyelid primer before I go ahead and put on any eyeshadows, any colours up there, any eyeliner, any mascara, anything like that. So these are the two that I use for my concealer. So I'll just go ahead and apply those. So when I'm putting on the concealer and buffing it in, I'm really just tapping it in at the moment just to make sure that it's in the right place. And also I'm not trying to wipe it away, so I'm just gently pressing it into my under eye at the moment. And then you can go in with a beauty blender if you want. I haven't actually been doing that because I've actually been finding that dabbing it in with my brush has been absolutely enough. I mean, it does take a bit of working in to get it done. However, it does work, and then the result is really nice. I find that I don't lose the coverage like I did when I used a beauty blender, especially when the beauty blender was damp. I found that that really sheared out the coverage, and for me that was not the effect I was going for. I wanted it to be as flawless as possible, so I enjoy it when it's like full coverage. Also, with this lasting matte concealer, what I would say is the effect to begin with is quite powdery, and I know for some that isn't necessarily what they're wanting. However, for someone with an oily complexion, I would say that after an hour of wearing this, you'll find that it actually settles into your skin beautifully, and it's the perfect level of coverage, and it also looks so natural once it's actually settled into your skin. And like, you'll find that when you're just going about your day, you'll see yourself in a mirror and you're like, oh my goodness, my skin looks like so nice and so natural as well. So I'm not saying that this is like a natural makeup look. I mean, it will look natural, but there are quite a lot of products involved in the process. But the overall effect is just gonna look like your skin but better type thing, which is, you know, a really nice thing because it's like a nice everyday glam look by the time it's all finished. So the concealer is now on and all buffed in, and then to set into my eyes, around my nose, and all the places that you would typically need like illuminating, I'm going to use the No. 7 Airbrush Away Translucent Finishing Powder. I really like this powder. It doesn't add additional coverage, it simply sets in place what you've already put there, and it's really, really nice. I've been using it quite a lot over the last few months, and I've almost finished this particular pan, and I really do like it. The next one I'm going to be using is a NYX Cosmetics Translucent Finishing Powder that I tried before. Usually I try to like use one thing at a time, but I may mix and match it a little bit, but at the moment I've been really happy using this one. Also, I think I just forgot to mention the shades for the concealer that I used. So in the Tropic Skincare one I used Latte, and in the Rimmel one I used one called Illuminator. Both of these are the lightest shades in both these brands' collections. If you were just going to pick one of these, I think I would probably say go for the Tropic Skincare one, because this one goes on really easily, and also when you buff it in, it's very easy to blend out. You know when you're like halfway through your makeup and then your lips just feel so dry? I'm gonna have to go in with some lip balm. I always use the Nivea one. It's like really affordable, and I actually have never used anything on my lips which is so effective for this price. This is so good. I would highly recommend it. It's just the original Care by Nivea. Definitely get one of these for your handbag, for your drawer. Get a few, have them around the house. They're definitely an absolute lip care essential. So to set the rest of my face, I'm going to go in with this Clinique foundation powder here. This one is an SPF 15 and it's called Almost Powder Makeup. It does add additional coverage, which I really like. Mine is basically completely run out. I've like tiny bit like left around the edge there. But when we're allowed out again, I will invest and I will get another. However, you know, on a day where I'm just trying to be really, really quick, I would just probably go in again with the No. 7 just all over, because even though it's translucent finishing powder and it doesn't add more coverage, it sets in place what I've put there. And because I'm already using like a full coverage liquid foundation by Rimmel, it's absolutely enough. This is just on a day where you really want it to be like staying properly like in place and like looking as flawless as possible for as long as possible. Having that additional level of slightly more coverage is really, really helpful with that, I find. I'm also going to quickly go in and do my eyebrows now as well. I've been using this really nice powder by Tropic Skincare. It comes in their palette. This is like customizable palette, and I really love this idea because it's really eco-friendly as well. So you just transfer a new palette section into the palette, and like you just discard the old tray once you've used that particular colour, and you can get like a whole variety of different things. So I've got like a bronzer in here, I've got highlighter, I've got an eyebrow pomade, and then 3 eyeshadows, and they're all just really nice. They just sort of really match each other nicely and really complementary. And I really like this brow powder because it's very natural and it just looks like, it just sort of fills me in but gently. I don't really like it to be too obvious because I feel like I don't really need to put much powders into my eyebrows anyway because they're already quite dark. So I'm just going to go in and like make them slightly more defined just so it draws all my makeup together. So for my bronzer, I'm going to use 2 different bronzers. I'm going to use Hoola Light to do my cool contour, and I'm going to use Hoola Original to do the warming bit and just the bits like on my cheekbones and stuff. So I'm going to initially go in with Hoola Light. These are just like mini travel size ones that I got probably about a year ago or a year and a half ago around Christmas time, and they're just so good because I actually hadn't tried many Benefit products at that time, but you know, I'm just completely converted now. Now onto my blusher, and if you watched my March favourites video, you'll have seen me talk about the Dandelion Brightening Powder by Benefit. I really love this. I'm so converted to it. I was only ever using Ice Lotus by Clinique before, but since I branched out into some Benefit, I found a new favourite. This is really, really nice. It's so soft and it's also a matte powder, so I really like that. I feel like you can then add the shimmer in with your highlighter and you can kind of control where that goes better. So I'm just going to add this now with a fluffy powder brush by Tropic Skincare. I'm going to just apply it to the apples of my cheeks. I'm also going to add a little bit to my nose because I really like that look. I feel like it makes you look a little bit sun-kissed, and because no one's actually going to be going anywhere this year, we might as well fake it till we make it. So I'm going to be adding that to my nose a little bit as well. I feel that by doing that, it kind of just draws your whole face together and it just sort of helps your makeup come together as well. And I feel like adding some blush is like an essential step. I feel like it adds back like the youthful glow that maybe was covered by using foundation. So it definitely gives you like a healthiness that I think is really cute, and I think that it's definitely like a nice thing to do. I also always like to go for a soft pink blush. I feel like it's really youthful and really nice. I have a few different coloured ones as well, like more peachy toned ones or more kind of coral coloured ones, but this is definitely my current favourite. For my eyeshadow, I'm just going to keep it really, really simple for day-to-day use. I'm going to add some warm toned brown, which is just in this tiny little Clinique travel palette, and it has 4 tiny shades in it, and they're all just like really nice neutral brown colours. And I'm just going to go in with the medium colour and just run it over my entire eyelid. And then I'm going to just deepen up the outer corner with the darker shade as well. I'm also going to add some of the palest shade to the inner corner area because my whole eyelid needs to be completely matte before I can apply any eyeliner. Otherwise it might transfer up as the day goes on. So I'm just going to do that as well. It's just a simple look, but it's still like a lot of blending to make sure that it looks cohesive and doesn't just look like it's been sort of plonked on. You still got to buff it in properly. So for eyeliner and for mascara, I use Clinique Pretty Easy eyeliner. It's really good. It's felt tip pen and it's so precise. It's got such a fine nib. You cannot make a mistake. Like honestly, you can take your time with it and you aren't going to be like, whoa, that one on really heavily, because you can do it super carefully with this. And then for mascara, I'm also going to go in with Clinique, and this is their High Impact mascara, and it has like a really natural effect finish, which I really like. I mean, if I was trying to be super, super glamorous today, maybe I'd go in with some false eyelashes, but because this is like an everyday makeup routine and I wouldn't technically wear false eyelashes every single day, I think I'm going to go in with the eyeliner and a little bit of mascara as well. I'm just going to do this quite subtly because like I'm not trying to cake it on a daily basis, so this is what I'm going to go in and do now. So eyeliner and mascara is now on, and for my lip liner I'm going to go for this one from Lavera, and I was kindly sent these things recently and it came in a really cute little bag as well, which I really appreciated. And the lip liner colour that I got was a soft rose, and oh no, it's just called Rose. It's called Rose, and it's this really nice dusty colour, but it's like a nude but kind of like slightly deeper than my natural lip colour, so I think it'll be really good for adding definition. It's such a nice colour. I've never tried this before, so I'm gonna see how this looks. I think by just trying it on the back of my hand there, this looks like my perfect colour. This is literally the type of shade I always try to get. So I'm just going to apply it and see what it looks like. It's really nice. And now for lipstick, I'm going to go in with the Tropic Skincare lipstick called Lush Lychee. It's this beautiful nude colour. It's going to complement this lip liner so perfectly. I really, really, really love this shade. I think it's just so complimentary for an everyday makeup look. And I think it's really flattering on so many lip tones. So this is definitely my current favourite lipstick. Also, last but by no means least, I am of course going to apply highlighter. Usually I put this on a little bit sooner in my makeup routine, but I kind of forgot today. But I'm going to put it on now, and honestly, if you haven't seen this already, you have got to see this, because this is honestly probably the best highlighter I've ever used in my entire life. This is a Burberry highlighter. It's their Fresh Glow highlighter. It's an illuminating one, and it is in rose gold, and it is the bougiest bit of makeup that I've ever been lucky enough to own. I truly love it. I've had a lot of different highlighters. I use a lot of drugstore highlighters. I use a lot from Topshop when they used to have a makeup range, and I absolutely love the Topshop highlighters. I do use them every day as well. However, on a day when I'm feeling a little bit fancier, I might want to be a little bit bougie, I use the Burberry one, and I love it each and every time that I apply it. So it's super fancy. It comes in its own little pouch, and it has like its own tiny little brush as well in this front compartment that I haven't actually used before, but it's there in case I change my mind. And then it's in this really nice packaging, and every time I take it out of the packaging I'm like, ooh, because it is actually the nicest thing, and it just makes you feel like good, and it makes you feel special as well when you use something that's this fancy. So this is like a little treat. This is what it looks like, and honestly it's so beautiful. It's a really nice rose gold colour, and what I would say about this is like when you apply it, it doesn't leave like a line of highlighter that like some highlighters might leave. It goes on and it just looks like really like flawless and buttery. So I'll apply some now and you'll know what I mean, because it's like you can't see where it starts and finishes. It just sort of makes you look like you've got a natural fresh glow, which is like really good. Yes, oh my god. Look at that. Isn't that just so beautiful and so like naturally glowing and radiant? I absolutely love that. Like it's just such a beautiful highlighter, and it's the best one I've ever used. So I'd highly recommend treating yourself or someone that you know you care about, like a best friend or like your mum, to this product or one in the Burberry range, because honestly it's so gorgeous. And also, I don't know if anyone else finds this, but I always find the highlighter lasts forever. Like you can't finish a highlighter. Those things last for years. So I feel like this is like an investment piece, but you're going to come back to it each and every day. So it's well worth splashing the cash once. So this is the finished look. This is my finished everyday makeup. It's really nice. It's like an everyday glam. It's really like easy to do, and you can of course speed up different steps if you need to, if you're in a rush in the morning and that kind of thing. But yeah, this is like the typical look that I like to go to. I think it's natural, but it also helps you to just enhance what's already there, and I just feel like it makes you look and feel good and happy. So definitely worth trying out some of those products if you haven't already tried them, or doing your makeup in this style. I think it's just really nice, and also with the bronzers it's like nice and warming, and I feel like it enhances a complexion really perfectly. If you do have any video suggestions for me, please do leave them down below in the comments for me, and I'll definitely check those out and get on with those for you over the next few weeks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching it, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do. It'd be lovely to have you here. See you again very, very soon in a brand new video. Bye!